Hi, Kaden. Okay, so I'm back in your pre-algebra course. This is just like the main screen, the home screen. So what you should do in every course is you should be on this home screen. You should never try to work from this to-do list. This will totally mess you up because it puts like, here's what's due today. Well, you're not ready for checkpoint 11.4 because you haven't done lesson 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 yet. So don't work from the to-do list. I wish that we could make this go away, but there's no way for me to make that go away. So basically you can ignore that. Don't do that. You want to be working here from your units. So like look at unit 1. You've done 100% of it. That's great. So what you should have done when you were in unit 1 is you start with the very first thing, you click on the very first thing, you do that thing, and then you hit next, and it brings you to the next assignment. You do that assignment, then you click next. So for example, let me just go into this. I know you've already done this, but just as an example, so you go through here reading what are factors, you're going to do this little reading, and then it asked you some questions, and it looks like you got partial credit on it, so maybe we'll go through that one right now. So you want to make sure you read these. This is where you learn the material. That's how you do math in an online school. You have to go through and read all of this. That's how you learn it. So right here, they're telling you these different things that they're going to ask you the question about down here. So in your workbook, to blank a number, break it up into parts that you can blank together to get the original number. If you know one factor of a number, you can find the other using blank. Okay, so to blank a number, break it up into parts that you can blank together to get the original number. Okay, so to divide a number, you can break it up into parts that you can multiply together to get the original number. I agree. If you know one factor of a number, you can find the other using, so this one should be division, this last answer right here. So if you wanted to retake that, you would just click this retake button, because workbooks you can do as many times as you want until you get the right answer. So let's just click on this retake. Okay, so to divide a number, you break it up into parts that you can multiply. These are just the answers that you had there last time. Break it up into parts that you can multiply together to get the original. If you know one factor of a number, you can find the other using division. There it is. So let's try submitting that. Okay, so you improved your score by 34%. So since you retook it again after the due date, you now have a 67 out of 100. So that's great that you got to improve your score by that much. So that is how you can retake things. So then when you're done with the workbook, then what you should do is hit next. And I think this is probably what you did throughout the first lesson. Finding factors. So again, you're going to do this reading, read through these. This is what this is where you do the learning, and then you do this finding factors tutorial. You hit start. Okay, so I'm guessing you already did all these things, but this is how you go through the course. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what you meant when you said that you started late, and so some of these things weren't due when you were here. So just so you understand, you have to do all of the things in the course. It doesn't matter when you start. Because you enrolled in the class, you're committing to doing this class. So it doesn't matter if you started late, you still do all of the things. So it looks like you are here on workbook 6.2. So I'm going to click in here and I'm going to help you get started on this one, and then hopefully that will help you just to keep going today and get some of these lessons done. So equivalent rational numbers. Okay, so be sure to read and take notes on the following examples. Remember to use paper and take notes. The examples show you how to solve problems that are similar to those you will encounter in the workbook questions, checkpoints, and unit exams. All right, so 4 out of 24 of Jalen's hats are baseball caps. What is the fraction when reduced to lowest terms? Write both the numerator and the denominator as products of their prime factors. Okay, so they took the top, the numerator 4, and broke it up into 2 times 2. And they took 24 and they broke it up into 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So we learned this in a previous lesson, how to break these up into factors using factor trees. cancel any factors that occur in both the numerator and the denominator. So since there's a 2 up here and a 2 down here, I can cancel those 2's out. There's another 2 on top and another 2 on the bottom. I can cancel those out. So all I have left on the top, it looks like nothing, but you have to have a 1 as a placeholder, because you could have times 1 here. Multiplying something by 1 doesn't change the value. And on the bottom, I still have this 2 times 3. Those ones didn't get canceled out. Okay, so even though you cancel out the factors in the numerator, there is still a 1. That's what I was just talking to you about. Okay, multiply the remaining factors. So we wouldn't leave our fraction like this. We would now make the bottom 2 times 3, we would write it as 6. So we reduce this fraction, 4 over 24 now is 1/6. So in lowest terms, 1/6 of his hats are baseball caps. So now I'm going to go to example 2. And if you had a piece of paper and you wanted to write these things down, that really helps so that you could actually do the process yourself instead of just reading. So example 2, Vanessa's bread recipe uses 3 1/4 cup of flour. What is the amount written as an improper fraction? If you're not sure what improper fraction is, you can click here and it tells you. A fraction with a numerator that is larger than the denominator. So this is a mixed number. Sometimes we write things as improper fractions. So let's see how to do that. Multiply the denominator 4 by the whole number part 3. So I'm going to go 4 times 3. I'm multiplying these two parts right here. That's 12. Then I'm going to add the numerator. I'm going to add this 1 to the product. So that's 13. So the result is our improper fraction, 13/4. So instead of writing 3 1/4, I could write it as 13/4. Those are the same thing, because 3, there's 3 4s inside of that 13/4, and with 1 left over. Okay, again, you can write that down on your own paper if you want. Example 3, on Saturday, Chad rode his bicycle 23/5 miles. As a mixed number, how many miles did he ride? So now we're doing the opposite. They gave us this improper fraction, and we want to write it with a whole number out in front. So divide the numerator 23 by 5. So like, how many times does 5 go into 23? It goes in 4 times. That'd be 20, and there's a remainder of 3. Okay, so my whole number out front is going to be 4, and the remainder is the rest of my fraction, 3/5. So 23/5 is the same as 4 wholes with 3 left over out of 5, 3/5. So that's how you take an improper fraction and make it a mixed number. Okay, so this whole lesson was just about how do I change the way I write things, reducing fractions, changing from mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay, so we're going to do this one here. What is 35 over 80 in lowest terms? So I'm actually not going to type this answer for you. I'll let you do it. But what you want to do is break up 35 and 80. Break them up into their factors. So 35 is 5 times 7. And 80 is, let's see, 8 times 10. This one's you're going to have to write out a little bit. So I believe it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. It looks like there's a 5 that you could cancel out on the top and bottom. I'm going to have you write that one out, though. This is not easy to just do in your head, so make sure you're writing these things down. If I had a piece of paper here, I would show you that, but I don't at the moment. So write this out. Cancel out the 5 in top and bottom, and then write your answer right here. Let's see what number 2 is. Match each mixed number with the correctly rewritten improper fraction. Okay, so 7 1/8. You're going to do 8 times 7, that's 56, plus 1 is 57, and I keep the same denominator. So I'm looking for 57/8. There it is, it's the first choice. 6 5/8. I'm going to take the 8 times 6 is 48, plus 5, so that's 53. So I'm looking for 53/8. There it is. Okay, so that's how you do each one of these. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 7. So I think it'll save those in there for you. If you go in there right now into this lesson, those should still probably be there. So that is what you do. And then I just want you to start powering through some of these lessons. Like, this is one of those, 25 things you're missing right now, and it probably only took us about 5 minutes to do it. So it's just about reading and then completing the little questions at the end. So hopefully that helps you a little bit.